When a show's had 193 episodes, there's bound to be some pretty dumb moments. And I should know, I've already talked about 40 of them, but Planet of the Turtleoids might just be the pinnacle of stupid for the show. Planet of the Turtleoids might not sound like the most ridiculous plot of all of TMNT 87, but believe me, this one contains so much what the shit! So much dumb, it stands out. Now, one thing I should highlight here is that the 87 TMNT always had a higher focus on comedy than any of its other incarnations. It was never an ultra-serious show or anything, but the levels of silly it had definitely ramped up as the show went along. Well, that is until we hit the final 3 Red Sky seasons. The Planet of the Turtleoids was part of the 5th season, so that on its own says a little bit about where the plots were at this point. This is also a double-length episode since it originally aired as a primetime special. Which means they could be way raunchier and show the real side of the Turtles universe. Like Vernon's depressing life of getting drunk because he's a failure at everything he's ever tried to do. That's actually kinda true. Well, besides that, there really isn't all that much tone-wise to distinguish this from any other Turtles episode at the time.
Whoa, check out the weirdo! He's breaking into that pet store!
Speaking of weird, I thought it was Michelangelo who was the one pointing since he was talking there first, but suddenly it's Leonardo. Oh well, at least this is one of the more subtle times the Turtles have stolen each other's voices.
Did I miss something here? Ain't you up on current events, lady? We just saved your life!
This weirdo sumo guy immediately ramps up the primetime special seriousness by breaking into a pet store. Yes, this is back when we still kept pets in stores rather than animal warehouses.
What would Dreg be doing in an animal warehouse?
Me, Tattoo!
You guys remember Tattoo? That stupid sumo figure in the toy line that came with tattoo stickers? No, of course you don't remember it. That figure sucked. In before all the fans of that stupid tattoo figure.
Me, look for home!
I'll give you that and 50% discount. Can we close the deal today?
How many puppies did Donatello just squash?
Oh no!
It's not funny, you bastard! Alright, this is probably the strangest way possible the show could have realized this tattoo character. Now, the toy wasn't that interesting to me because, well, it was just some random human guy, but here's what the show did.
Hey, watch it! That's a live wire!
Horrifying electrocutions. Alright, I suppose they did need the primetime slot. Nah, of course Tattoo doesn't die. Electrocution just zaps you into a hamster.
Now that's what I call a neat trick! You don't suppose Krang and Shredder are messing around with mutagen again, do you?
Mutagen doesn't work that way. Just everything about this one is confusing. Mutagen in the 87 series mutates you to cross with whatever the last animal you were in contact with. How do you mutate a hamster into a regular person with tattoos? Did the hamster have those in the first place? Did Shredder mutate this hamster into a sumo, then say, "Wait, before you go, I've got to give you tattoos"? If they wanted another mutant in the episode, why didn't they use another actual mutant? There was a shit ton of those from the toy line they never used. Also, electrocution equals unmutated. Guess Shredder never needed that retro mutagen gun. All he had to do was electrocute them. Guess that's all he's doing in the arcade game.
Hey dudes, for all we know, this might be the same pet store we came from.
You know, sometimes I wonder if we wouldn't have been better off if we just stayed ordinary turtles.
It's pretty late in the series to be having thoughts like that, Donatello. Also, Don, out of all the turtles, I think would be the one who'd be least likely to wish to be a regular turtle again when he's the one who values using his brain the most. This would make more sense for Raph or Mikey just wanting a simple life and to be lazy or something, or even Leo not wanting the burden of leadership anymore. Also, nothing really triggered this besides them being in a pet shop. Maybe it's just the wonderful thought of being in a cage Donatello misses. It'd be some silly, though, if Donatello loved losing his freedom, huh?
It's a travesty of the entire system of criminal jurisprudence.
Actually, I kind of like it.
Of course that happens.
Tattoo! Come in, Tattoo! Blast it! What has happened to that miserable mutant?
We should never have let him go on this mission alone.
What do you mean, Krang? A sumo wrestler with the mind of a hamster should have been unbeatable!
And you called my make them fall in love plan, stupid.
But Krang, we need more mutants to break into that museum to steal that giant ruby. With it, we can refocus your new heat ray and finally free the Technodrome.
Well, when you put it that way, making people float away on an island sounds smart. What the devil?
This, seems like a serious design flaw here, Shredder, to have made this stupid heat ray that needs a ruby that you don't have to power it. You have a damn mobile base that is currently using a good amount of power. I think you can charge your heat ray. But remember, only mutants can steal rubies.
Hey, what's wrong with me and Rocksteady? Yeah, we're mutants, you know.
You two losers couldn't steal the free prize from a cereal box.
Oh, snap, Shredder. But even though Bebop and Rocksteady have become complete jokes at this point, they would have at least comprehended your orders.
Sometimes I wish I was just a plain old turtle.
A plain old turtle leads a rather useless life, Donatello.
And just think of how useless you were before. Why, there was no point to you at all.
You're useless, Splinter.
That is where you are wrong, my son. Now I must return to a very important task.
Oh, I'm skipping stones.
Somewhere, there must be a place where we can belong. A place where a turtle can live free.
Nah. Listen, if he starts singing, I'd advise you to switch over to another channel.
This was one of the good things about the 87 Turtles show. Even when you were in for a really stupid episode, they usually had some jokes that still worked.
I'll have more on this baffling incident in my 7-part special report. Pet shop break-ins, the next crime wave.
Also known as the news slump of the century, when you try to drag out a single pet shop break-in to a series of reports. Of course, I'll have more on this news slump in my series of reports on it.
What'll it be, pal?
I'll have a root beer float.
This is my gruff voice, 'cause I'm about to get wasted on root beer floats.
April O'Neil. Ha! I should be the one reporting the news. I know this town inside out. I know its pulse, its people, its loves, and its hates.
Some guys just can't handle root beer floats.
Well, they're half made of rum. Come on, give them a break. I love to imagine this is just a regular night for Vernon when he's not getting roped into one of the adventures, getting drunk and yelling at the TV.
I'm not sure. Who are you?
Oh, forgive me. My name is Kerma.
Has Vernon forgotten he's seen turtles in trench coats quite a bit at this point?
That one is shorter than usual. It's going to destroy us all.
Did
You remember to bring the outfits the new mutants will wear?
And my larger android body. Clearly, I'm growing out of this one.
So, seriously, now they are in the zoo to make new mutants. This getting a ruby plan was really stupid in the first place, but now the amount of time you're spending on getting something to get the ruby is just asinine. You're all in the city right now. Krang even came this time. Go fucking get it yourselves.
Ooh, look! Moo-moos and duckies! Hey, this is the same zoo where we came from before we was mutated.
I'm running out of air here! If you've seen my top 40 dumbest TMNT 87 moments, you know this one was on the list. Bebop and Rocksteady have forgotten who they used to be. They weren't animals mutated into humanoid form, they were two humans that were mutated. This same season even included an episode where Bebop and Rocksteady went and saw their old gang. I don't know how you have a line like that. It's really weird too, because Planet of the Turtleoids wasn't written by someone who didn't know any better. This was a script by David Wise, who wrote a large part of the series, including the one where they first got mutated.
Wow, this place has great historical significance.
Alright, now that's an example of Bebop and Rocksteady's stupidity done right and actually being funny.
Oh, hello there. I assume you are two typical Earthlings?
I know you look nothing like the other Earthlings I've seen, but I've got to keep this episode's stupid quota up.
Perhaps if you weren't chained to the wall, you'd be more talkative.
Okay, you do understand the concept of criminals, don't you? Because if you really believe they are the dominant species on the planet, there might be a reason they're chained up. You could maybe give this a pass, though, since Kerma here is actually an alien, and maybe they don't use imprisonment as a punishment on his planet. Until a bit later when you do see their planet, and you do in fact see a jail on it. Then, suddenly we have Ground Chuck and Dirtbag. I'm assuming at this point David Wise was instructed for this episode. Introduce all these toys as characters. We don't care how.
Yee-haw! I feel like a new boo. But what happened? Why are we here? What is our purpose in life? Ooh, quit getting philosophical on me.
And of course these two immediately speak English and seem to have a pretty good grasp on human concepts. I mean, fuck, they're already more human than I am. Now, sure, there's some liberties you'd want to take, like maybe speech would come easier to them now being half-human mutants, but just immediately understanding all this shit when they are a regular mole and bull a few seconds ago is a bit silly. And silly never happens in a show about humanoid turtles that eat pizza and are ninjas.
What in blazes?
The other two animals must have gotten free somehow. Then these two must have spilled the mutagen, and because they had last been with these two dipsticks, they mutated into humanoid form.
Even though Bebop and Rocksteady aren't exactly fully human anymore, now are they? Or does mutagen somehow ignore mutagen's effects? Oh well, at least Krang remembers they were human.
Here, you two, put these on.
It'll make you look like your toys! My greatest plan yet!
Good thing this lion and gorilla mutant gear also somehow perfectly match this bull and mole. So, I'd really like to know, was it the lion or the gorilla who was going to be the miner originally?
I'm telling you, April, it was wearing a trench coat and a fedora, and it looked like a turtle. It must have been one of those four weirdo friends of yours.
That's why I ran off, because I know them.
But the turtles aren't 3 feet tall. Maybe they took a reducing course.
Shut up, Irma.
It wanted to know all about human beings.
Why would it ask you about human beings, Vernon? You've gotta be one to know about them.
You're not human, Irma. Ha! Scooped you on that sweet burn, April.
Actually, that's true. I'm really a Krang.
Like that would ever happen, right?
I don't care.
Jerk.
I want you two to go to the Museum of Excessive Opulence and steal the giant ruby that's on display there.
I assume you two know what that is and even what the hell I'm talking about because Shredder.
We'd rather just rip this place apart. Come on, dirtbag.
An overly elaborate Shredder and Krang scheme has fallen apart due to not thinking a simple fact through. It's the first time. And wow, this place's floor is apparently just tiling laid right on top of dirt. You don't usually see that because the architect is usually fired if they suggest that.
I really dig it.
I wonder what's up.
Wow, that building sure is. I don't remember seeing that skyscraper there before.
There used to be just this odd building-sized gap between the rest of the block and that huge pizza building that's now right in front of Channel 6. You know what? Since that building has apparently moved, I'd find it to be the more suspicious one.
What Vernon means is that it was dressed just like you. Whatever it was.
Imagine someone going around ripping off our style.
We better check this out. It might be copyright infringement.
Oh, Donatello, perish the thought.
Now this is news.
Hey, this ain't the way to treat grade A prime beef.
So, you discovered beef, did ya, Bull? And you personally feel like that's a jokey subject for you, do ya? Why, you fucking callous piece of shit. Anyway, I gotta go throw a few human burgers on the grill. BRB. Then Kermit decides, since he didn't get his questions answered by the random beings he tried to talk to thus far, he'd just resort to kidnapping, and not even begin to slightly tell them what's up until they're in the far reaches of space. Things might have escalated quickly here, but luckily you can just cut electric bindings with a dagger or a sword. And then because both April and Bebop and Rockstay decide they'll just wander aimlessly down the middle of the road in the middle of New York, they run into each other in hell. And after trying to call the Turtles, because they missed them, they realize that they're tied up with a different stupid plot. So apparently Shredder decides they'll just completely abandon that Ruby plan for something completely different.
We Turtleoids have a little problem, and Earth may be our only hope.
A world of turtles. Guys, this is exactly what I was dreaming about. A place where we turtles can live free.
Alright, that one I can at least understand a bit more because having to live in secrecy most of the time would probably begin to take its toll. But that's not the same thing as I wish I wasn't smart and couldn't do pretty much all the things I enjoy anymore.
Well, it sure looks like a place where turtles would live.
Yeah, what with all the buildings and stuff.
It is known as Shell-Rely.
Because alien cultures always base their names off fantasy Earth locations.
I have a better plan for the most gigantic construction job in history.
And just who is going to do all this construction?
Why, the foot soldiers, of course.
Forget it, Shredder. Their tiny electronic brains cannot assimilate complex orders.
What secret tropical island?
The one my foot soldiers are building at this very moment.
That's why they need a robot to lead them. A robot that is super intelligent and utterly invincible.
I have a feeling this is going to be a long episode.
Stop breaking the fourth wall, April. It's only cool when Raphael does it.
And I thought this only happened in cartoons.
Stop breaking the fourth wall, Raphael. It's only cool when April does it.
Those doors look like they're made of gold. Yeah, and the windows too.
Even the streets are paved with gold.
What's that thing, Kerma? That is one of our numerous alchemy machines.
You mean that you actually have machines that can turn lead into gold?
Oh, we could not exist without them. The reflected gold light gives us energy, just like food.
So, do the Turtleoids survive on photosynthesis? How does the light reflecting off of gold change it in any way? I don't understand what you're doing, Turtles.
Give me them wide spaces.
They must be stopped.
Because I don't even know why I brought them anymore, or if they're even actually gonna do anything that bad.
With two brand new mutants around, wouldn't you think the Turtles would want to talk to them about their new nature and try to form some kind of kinship? Nah, that wouldn't make any sense, especially in an episode where Donatello's pining for more beings that can accept the Turtles as they are. I don't know which one to call dumber here, Shredder and Krang for their prisoner by honor system, or April for taking that long to notice.
Now, for the final section of its hull. Oh no, we're out of adamantium.
Ah yes, Wolverine's lost brother, Chrome Dome.
In that case, we'll use ordinary steel instead.
But that's the main control panel. My robot must have no weak spots.
It's just a tiny hole. No one will know it's there but us.
You seriously just insisted you put a weak point on Chrome Dome. Krang, what were you thinking?
Oh, I don't know. I was high on my love potion number 9 at the time.
Alright, sweet reference, Krang. In part 2, will the Turtles find out the point of having been drugged to this planet before the Turtleoids accidentally kill themselves? Will Shredder and Krang figure out how to shoehorn in more characters? And what will April do with her newfound freedom?
Going somewhere, Miss O'Neill.
Oh, ruin the mystery there.
I love that you have a weak point in this review, Phelous, which is, of course, the fact you stretched it out to 2 parts.